So this is going to be the first of a sequence of videos that we are going to shoot where we go ahead and lay out a fixed width design. And what I want you to understand up front is fixed width designs for web pages is not best practices. What we want in practice are web pages that are flexible and conform to the media on which we're viewing them, and that can adapt and change based on whether the viewer's using a laptop or a cell phone or an iPad, an Android, that adapt to the screen width. But I think that doing a fixed width design once is a good exercise in pixel counting, and that's why I like to have people do it. So the first step with a fixed width design, so all we're going to do in this video is sketch it. So what you do is you start off and you sketch what you want your web page to look like. So my web page is going to be an outer container. And I'm going to actually name it that. I'm going to call this the container. And these names are going to be important because these are going to be what I use for my style sheets. When I create classes, I'm going to create a container class. And I want my container to be 800 pixels wide. That's what I'm going to choose to make it. 800 pixels wide. I want the inside space to be 800 pixels. And then I'm going to add to the width by adding a 3 pixel border. So it'll actually be 806 pixels wide altogether, but I'll have 800 pixels of space in which to put content on the inside of the container. And then inside my container, I'm going to put a header, and I'm going to call this header my showcase. This is going to be where I put some picture that I like to highlight my site. So I'm going to name this showcase. So that will be the name of him. And on either side, I want 6 pixels of margin. And I'm going to give it a 2 pixel border. And I'm going to make him 200 pixels high. And then what I need to do is calculate how big I need to make the box, or how wide I need to make the box. The height isn't such a big deal, but the width is. If I'm doing a fixed width, I have 800 pixels of space to play with. But I've used up some of that side-to-side space because I have a 6 pixel border on either side, so that's 12 pixels. And then I'm going to have 2 pixel border on the showcase division. So I need to subtract from the 800 pixels I have to play with. I'm going to need to subtract 6 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2, or 16. I'm going to need to subtract 16 pixels. So I'm going to make this guy 784 pixels wide. And let's do a 10 pixel margin at the top to push it down from the top of the page. We'll do a 10 pixel margin there. And then we'll do a 10 pixel margin underneath him. And underneath him, I'm going to have another container that I'm going to call content. And this will be where I put my page content, my paragraphs. So I'm going to name this guy content. And I want keep that 6 pixels of space on this side. I'm going to do no border, 0 pixel border. I'll put a border on it so that I can see it while I'm working on it, and then I'll remove it. So I'm going to do a 0 pixel border on the interior of the content box, all the way around on the interior. I'm going to put some padding so my paragraphs are away from the side. So I'm going to put 5 pixels padding. So that's going to add to the width, because I'm going to have padding on the inside of my box, padding on either side, no border. And then over here I'm going to have a navigation bar, so I'm going to put my links in a sidebar. So I'm going to name this guy, give him the name navigation. I'm going to put my links in there, no border. no padding. We'll see how that works. And then I want to get 6 pixels of space between everything. And I want to make him 150 pixels wide, and let's do a min height of, let's say, 600 pixels. We might adjust that later. You sketch in some widths and then you adjust things as you go. I need to figure out how wide to make this guy now. So I know I have 800 pixels of space side to side. Minus, I'm going to have 6 pixels of margin, 6 pixels of margin, 6 pixels of margin. So minus 18 pixels is going to be 28782. Add back up to check the work, and then I want another 5 pixels of padding on the inside, both sides. So I need to subtract off another 10 pixels. That's going to take me down to 772. So it looks like I'm probably going to make him 772 pixels wide. And we'll do a min height on him also. So we'll do min height of 600 pixels. We'll have the minimum heights of both of these matching, and this can be bigger if it needs to. And then down at the bottom, I think I'm going to stick a footer. Maybe my copyright information goes in here. I can put whatever I want in it. I'm going to match the width specs on the showcase. So this is going to be my footer, and that's what I'm going to name him. I'm going to name him footer. So I've got a box named content, a box named navigation, a container, a showcase, a footer. We're going to match the measurements up here, so it's going to be 2 pixels border. And then we're going to do 784 pixels wide. And we'll adjust things if we need to. Let's do 10 pixels between. And maybe 6 pixels margin at the bottom. And we'll see how that looks. So here's the basic layout. I've got the measurements. I've got them written down on a sheet of paper. You might want to draw this out, because this is what I'm going to be using as we move through the videos. And if I need to adjust widths, I'm just going to adjust them onto this paper. I've got it written. I've got my specs already written down, and we're going to go ahead and build the site now.